All right. Well, welcome everybody to our third elevation call in September and our final one before October 12th, because some of us are going to be partying on a cruise ship. We've got all sorts of things end of month, but we are talking about financial transformation. And I wanted to have Linda, before we get started, unmute and introduce Deb. And we all got to meet the pleasure of meeting Deb this week. And so, Linda, do you mind just before we get started, tell us who Deb is, this amazing person with the podcast headphones, and how did you meet her?
I just you know what, it was unplanned, but I went and attended a commerce alignable networking business group, and I just showed up, and there were like 3 guys and 6 ladies, and Deb was one of them. And when it came time to introduce each other and what we do, I just mentioned that I gave a real quick story. I don't know if I told a story or not, but I just told them about that I was involved with Zilis and had very good responses with the product, and that I was really, because our latest product was a weight loss product. And then we passed around our business cards, and then so she had mine, and so she texted me later on and told me that she wanted to hear more about BFit. That's how we started.
Awesome. So
and
tell us.
Deb is also a bookkeeper by profession.
Yeah, I was going to have Deb, if you don't mind, just unmute yourself and tell us just a little bit about you and why Zilis for you.
Good question. My name is Deb Hellman, and I have been an accountant for 25 years, but I've also had several other businesses, and I've always been an entrepreneur. I've been in network marketing companies before, but what I like about this one is that you guys seem to think is amazing is the CBD product and the concept, and just how you guys have put it all together. And then the BFit was what originally I was inquiring about, but I want to know more about all the other products, because the balance in the body is so important. Mm-hmm. And I want to get back to that. I feel like I've been out of balance.
Nicely said, Deb. Well, we sure enjoyed having you at the meeting on Thursday, and it was fun to introduce you to the topical cream, our magic cream. You had a little bit of a response. Tell us about that.
Well, I put it on my neck, and it immediately took the pain away. But the biggest thing was, after I got back home, I put it on my shoulder, which has been hurting me. And then I kind of fell asleep. And when I woke back up, I could actually move my arm, and I didn't have the pain. It was like, wow. So I was pretty amazed.
So is Linda your new best
friend
forever?
One application.
Yeah, one application. It's just, think about when you start using these regularly in your body. And
I know.
So you're going to be a force. We're just really excited to meet you, to have you on our team, and we're excited to have you on our call tonight. So welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Very well said. And so what we're going to do today, I wanted to share with you guys something that I have been thinking about and working on for a while. And this, is really just about five slides. But this is something that I have lived, experienced. It was something I was looking for, just because many of you guys know my educational background as a former ICU nurse, and went back to school looking for freedom, got an additional degree in marketing, and kind of repositioned myself as a corporate chick in the pharmaceutical industry, and still looking for freedom, and just found a lot more of kind of a corner office prison. And I had a child, and therefore I was really even looking for more freedom. And I didn't find that in corporate America. And so I ended up leaving corporate America for fitness and health and wellness, which I loved, and made no money. So I was like, there's got to be something. where I can actually make a significant income. I can make a significant impact, and I can still do the things I love, like being a mom. And so tonight I want to share just a little bit about my perspective, and then I'm going to ask you for some feedback as well in talking about a side hustle or a low cost business. And so my thought initially was Bo Short's data from what people who are looking for additional income, number $300 a month is what most people are looking for. That alone can actually lock somebody into a side hustle of some type. And when we ask, well, what's the value of $300 a month? Obviously, there's just not enough money anymore, as the elevating cost of everything, food, gas, living expenses, real estate, um, it seems like there's no end to that. So the additional income obviously covers those additional expenses, helps reduce financial stress, the number one cause of marital problems. And then also that, those earnings can be saved or invested to build long-term financial security, which is one of the things that Bo Short talks about. So the $300 a month income stream is kind of what I'm talking about. And we're going to kind of explore the fact that we can actually learn in this platform how to do that. And so the how-to part of it is what I have really come to appreciate with Zilis. And I've made a significant amount of money with Zilis, but if Judy Baker said, "Hey, Lisa, explain to me, how does that work?" I would be really unable to effectively tell her what she can do to duplicate what I've done. And so, we talk about how you create a $300 a month income stream traditionally. And the old fashioned way is basically you save money and you invest it in stocks and bonds and real estate and crypto, whatever floats your boat. You've got to sacrifice and you've got to take money from what you're generating and invest it. But the other way of doing that is the entrepreneurship path, which Deb talked about. We sometimes refer to that as a side hustle, where you really learn to create an asset that generates income. And that can be a faster and more flexible path to financial freedom. For me, it wasn't necessarily fast. I actually did a whole different business in the nutritional area prior to Zilis. I spent 13 years beating my head against a wall with a whole different company, learning the mindset required for what we're doing today. So it now seems fast, but it didn't then. And so here's kind of what I wanted to talk a little bit about. And this to me is very significant, because when you think about the value of $300 a month and how do you generate that, you've got a couple of options. You can actually have a really high initial investment by traditionally saving a chunk of change to generate $300 a month. You can invest in high yield savings account at today's rate of like 4.5%, which I don't know where you could get that, but let's just say you could. You need $80,000 in the bank to generate $300 in predictable income every single month. And Hal and I were discussing this prior to the call, and I was like, and you'll need $750,000 in the bank in order to generate it if you're just, got the money stuck in a traditional savings account at 0.5% interest. So let's just say somewhere between 80 and 700,000 in the bank to generate $300, which doesn't sound like a ton of money, but in order to generate that with cash, then it takes a lot. It takes a lot of cash to do that. And it also takes time and sacrifice to grow and accumulate that amount of money. Obviously, for people who are past their prime, for people who have a little bit of runway left, that is a daunting thing to think about, is how do you generate with cash in the bank $300 a month? And so a side hustle can provide a faster and more attainable income without needing as much upfront capital. And so that's kind of what's cool about Zilis is it can be a transformative path where you learn how to do a certain type of entrepreneurship through building a business. And entrepreneurs create assets or books of business that produce income. And it enables us to have financial independence and wealth growth. So that's one of the things versus traditional investing that entrepreneurs build this book of business. And whether you're in insurance sales, whether you're doing like financial management, there's really a lot of types of businesses that value their book of referrals and their book of business. And then the other thing about this transformative path of entrepreneurship is it enables us to develop skills that we would not have developed otherwise. And personal development, which we talk about a lot, enhancing personal capabilities and long-term success. And I remember looking at the very first business that I did a long time ago, and I was like, geez, I don't know if I'm going to be very good at this because I'm a nurse. What do I know about building a book of business? My patients came to me and I didn't have to go recruit anybody. And so I, over time, by doing it very, very poorly, learned some of the skills required in literally creating conversations with people to look for certain things. And then building assets and skills accelerates the financial transformation beyond traditional savings. And this is one thing that has truly changed our financial fortune, if you might add, our ability to buy real estate, our ability to do our passion in the world is learning how to do the Zilis business. In addition, it proves you can identify a market need and create a successful offering, gives you control over your time and earning potential, which was just invaluable for me as a mom. And, many of you guys have heard the story about my son, Nate, my youngest, who really was the whole focus of me looking for a solution for him. But I got a beautiful text from him today, and he just said, Mom, I just want to thank you for the example of personal growth and perseverance. And just watching you become a better person every single day has really inspired me. And those are kind of beautiful things that are intangible. But the other thing I'm like, what we are going to talk about here in a minute is scalability. And this new model that Zilis is presenting shows us how to acquire 3 customers. And if you can acquire 3 customers to generate $100, you can generate 9 customers to generate $300. And so that we call that scalability. When you, Judy Baker, can acquire that customer and then that second customer and then that third customer to win a cruise, you can then go teach somebody else how to do the exact same thing. That is scalability. And it's a beautiful thing when you don't have to an additional $1 million to buy another property. You can scale this model without investment. And the business becomes an asset that is truly willable and saleable. And we have seen that over time. So here's kind of the first question with Zilis. Your first $100 as a VIP or your first $1,000 or $999 with a gold kit. And investing in your personal wellness products versus traditional investments, because that's, a lot of times when people will say, well, I just, I don't have that kind of money, or, I'm not looking for a business, let's say. But when we talk about traditional investment options, $80,000 to generate $300 a month. And so stocks and bonds can provide potential long-term financial growth, but you're exchanging some risk for that because there's obviously no guarantee, just like in our business. But you're investing money for money, and that might not provide immediate tangible benefits as you're, starting to sacrifice and put that money into some type of platform. But the transformative path, just as Deb was talking about, wellness products can relieve pain, sleep deficits, they can improve health and productivity, indirectly supporting financial success and quality of life. And so starting as a VIP, that first $100 all the way up to investing $999 in a gold kit to open a franchise, all of those have a potential health benefit. And when you look at doing that specifically with Zilis, investing in a proven wellness product, they have spent 10 years creating products that optimize sleep, immune function, energy balance, and hope. You guys are experts in all of that. And this is an investment in yourself and your well-being, which is the most valuable asset that we all have, truly. And, at age 62, that looks and feels different to me, seeing a lot of people that didn't make it this far or that can't really move anymore, that we have invested heavily in wellness to have a great health span in that last third of life. And so the return on investment with a wellness business is not just financial, it's a higher quality of life, more energy for work and passion, and a greater sense of well-being. So this is an investment that really can improve your health and productivity, indirectly supporting financial success and quality of life. So telling you something that you guys already know, a side hustle can actually provide a steady income stream and significantly improve personal finances. And engaging in the side hustle can help develop a lot more than that. It can develop skills that enhance career growth. It can enhance wellness. It can help ease a lot of suffering, help boost energy for creative work. But it also can unlock new paths to financial independence. It's kind of a no-brainer. We know that. But here's the bottom line that I want the takeaway to be. And I want who can explain to me what this graph at the bottom is referring to? Anybody seen that? Customer growth bonus?
Yes.
Okay, who can explain it?
I can.
Susan, go.
So if you have 3 VIP customers that you have recruited or that you have signed up is a better word for me, and they are on 50 BV or more auto ship, well, then you get $100 bonus. And that's totally separate from, or maybe better, is in addition to any other bonuses that you might be getting. Like a lot of the things like I can't think what they call them, but the other things like maybe you've ranked up, get a rank up bonus, or maybe you've hit a certain number of enrollees or whatever. That's totally different. This is just for VIP customers alone. So if you've recruited a whole bunch of gold people, well, then great for you, but you're not going to get this bonus.
Right.
Really?
Okay, so perfect, Susan. And so you get $100 extra the following month
Correct.
for 3 and keep going.
And then if you have 6 people with 50 BV or more VIP customers, then you get $200 a month, or the next month, we'll say that. And then the same thing with 9 people, it goes up to $300 a month, which I believe is the illustration you've been using. So with just having 9 VIP customers underneath you, you get that. And then it jumps a little bit up to 15 to get $500 bonus. And then if you have 25 underneath you, you can have earn as much as $1,000 a month.
Excellent. And so, Susan, that was a beautiful explanation.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you a gold star for that.
It's because I have looked at this 1,000,001 times and talked to you about it 1,000 times.
Yeah, which is great, because you've got a few customers, and Susan, I mean, I'm talking to you, I'm going to pick on you right now. Is that okay?
Mhm. Sure.
Okay, tell us why Zilis for you.
Well, why Zilis? I've retired. Some people say early because I retired at age 60. I saw how it saved people's lives, especially someone very close to me. And so I believed in the products. I had never done anything like this before, well, except when I was in 8th grade and I sold candles. But yeah, I've never done anything like this. I've always worked for someone else. And actually, a CEO told me one time, you'll never get rich working for somebody else. You help them get rich. And so anyway, after at 60, I fell in love with the products, and then I just started sharing them with other people about the products. And so that's kind of why Zilis with me.
Well, I love that. And you've been doing this then for a minute, and what do you feel like is the most effective way over time for you having been able to find and recruit a customer?
Well, what I do the most, I mean, to me, it's face to face. I do online stuff, and I have certainly recruited people that way. But I'm kind of a hands-on, face-to-face person. That's where I get my energy. So therefore, where I'm getting my energy is where I can do the best job recruiting people. And so I definitely have done way more that way. Um, and so since I've been in this business for a while, what was happening to me, I ended up with a whole lot of customers. And so I was making a little bit of money, but not a lot because I just have not had a lot of luck yet getting, a lot of people that wanted, like, I haven't recruited a Deb that wants to work a business. Most of the people that I've recruited, there's a couple that have worked at it a little bit, but not much. And so, so this is a great bonus to reward me for things that I've been doing that's been helping the company. So it's a great reward for me.
Right. Awesome. And one of the things I'm going to ask all of you guys is, what is your goal for dependable income with Zilis? Because I think that's really, really important. And I also wanted to ask Linda Painter, because I had the opportunity of, Linda hosted an event in Northwest Arkansas Thursday evening. She and Randall just are phenomenal at what they do for our team. They feed us amazingly. It's always just much fun. We had Luis that joined us, and that's a whole nother story we're going to have Luis tell us. But Linda, I wanted to ask you, in addition, it was wonderful to have Deb there, and we just loved her. We're so glad we get to keep her. But what would you say that your most effective way to gain new customers is?
Well, I think face to face, meeting people, new people. I've tried, right now I am doing a little experiment. My chiropractor is not interested in doing the business, but he gave me a glass shelf that he's going to allow me to display products. So I made envelopes with a little personal letter in there with a flyer, a little letter explaining a little bit about Zilis and why Zilis was important to me, and how I hope that they would, want to learn more about it. And then I told them about our BFit program, and I put a little sign there, said, if you want a sample, just get one from the front desk. And she has all these little envelopes with a little 3x5 card for them to write their name and number, so that I know who took an envelope, and that way I can do a follow-up, because the lady behind the desk has no interest really in learning anything about our products. So I had to just do that. But so far that hasn't worked. I mean, I've only done it for a week so far, but no one has. I think the reason is because the glass panel has a door, and even if you can open up the door, and I put some flyers in there, and I made a booklet, I think people are afraid to open it. So we're going there tomorrow to remove the glass door, so it just leaves it open. So if somebody wanted to pick the Amalaki bag and read the back of it, they can. They're all empty, but I just stuffed it up, so keep honest people honest, right? And then we'll see how that goes. But the good thing about it is that the massage person that works at my chiropractor's office finally came to the same class that Debbie did, and she enrolled as a wholesale customer. So she's checking it out now. So I guess that was my success on that story. But I had also used some videos to get some responses. So I videotaped Randall about his success, and his cousin's wife contacted me and said she wanted to get on BFit, and she told me today that she liked doing that because you cannot trust buying things from Amazon, because you don't know if it's really the real thing. Someone could have put fake pills in there and then just resealed it and say this is that product that costs $200 elsewhere. So she was glad to know somebody personally who has used the product and had great success. And so that's what she's doing right now. So
Awesome. Well, I asked Hal Henson to come just give us a little BFIT update, and he had some thoughts about what we offer people with regard to when we're enrolling a VIP customer and some of the volume. Do you want to come over here and share that with us, Hal Henson?
You did ask Hal Henson, didn't you?
I did ask Hal Henson.
I'm Hal Henson.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Hey, everybody. So be fit. Well, look at Gene Workmeister. Look at that guy. Talk about
He looks really
slim. I'm
lean.
telling you, slim and trim, man. Hey, so yes, we had a really good meeting the other night at the painter's house, and while we were there, you know, one of the things that I wanted, as I was thinking and hearing what people was saying, and Luis was there, and I'm like, this new language and the new way of paying. I think if everyone who presently is on our calls, who's on our team, who wants to for yourself generate income, the way to do that with this model is to help other people generate income. And that's really, in the long run, it's where you get paid the most. But you have to begin with a very simple practice yourself with some simple tools, with a simple goal, and then really understand that and achieve it. So I started kind of breaking this down, but also there's a bigger reward out there if you think about it. So I started breaking it down to the idea that, you know, we're going to go ahead and use the word recruit. I don't necessarily think that everyone likes that word, but let's use it tonight. Recruiting or gathering 3 VIP customers who orders an auto ship order. And I'm going to talk about those orders here in a minute to keep it simple, to give some options on product. But what I said was, you know, what we've been given is a new way to earn additional money. But let's just say this was the only way that you could earn money. And it's not with Zilis, but let's just say it was. Obtain, recruit, enlist, encourage, whatever the word is, 3 customers that on a VIP customer base, that will earn you next month when they auto ship, when they order an auto ship that equals 50 BV, which is about typically around $100 spent next month. So they have to order another product on auto ship. That earns you $100. All right. And what I said the other night was, you know, if that 3 does that every month, the way Zilis is paying this, that adds up to $1,200 for the year. Okay. So it goes from, in your mind, from $100 on the behavior of just enrolling 3 people who themselves continue to order. That adds up to $1,200 for you, for them. So now the number went from $100 earned to $1,200 earned on enrolling 3 people. I want you to just think about that for a second. All right. Now let's say you do that again and you recruit 3 more people, just you, at the end of, you know, a year and 2 months, let's say a year and 2 months, because maybe you haven't believed it yet that it's going to work. It takes you 2 more months to recruit 3 more people on top of the first 3. But at the end then of 14 months, you've turned that into $2,400 for you over that 14-month period of time. Now, for some of you, that may not be a lot of money, but I'm just saying that's kind of the principle of it. So you went from earning 100 to 200 by recruiting 6 people. All right, and let's say it takes you a whole year to recruit 25 people. Let's say it takes a whole year. 25 product users, and I'm going to talk in just a minute about the products that you might offer them to keep it simple. But let's say over that year period of time, it takes that 25. You say, well, I've never done that before. Well, that's because you haven't really had this to offer them, this opportunity. But at the end of that year, let's say that the clock starts ticking for what you earn based upon their auto ships. Do you realize that that's $12,000 in that coming year that you could earn based upon those people just using the products that you've recommended to them, and they through auto ship order that every month? That's honestly a really good deal. But I think, Lisa, did you already talk about the return on investment of how much money it takes? Have you talked about that yet in the bank?
Oh, yeah, we did.
How much money it takes to put in the bank at a 3% interest to earn even $300 a month? Can you imagine how long it would take anyone to earn that kind of money, $750,000 in the bank at a reasonable percentage rate to earn $300 a month? Okay, so I got pretty excited to share with you all what I recognize is 3 customers equals $1,200 in a year. 6 customers equals 24. 9 customers equals $3,600 a year. Okay. Now, let's talk about what you could offer someone to accomplish that. And I suggested that Lisa write down 3 different packages of product that you could talk with someone about. And you might not talk to them about all of these all at once, but I just want you to have in mind that what do you have to offer a VIP customer? Well, there's really obvious, and that's BeFit. BeFit in a VIP $99 monthly auto ship is going to be 50 BV. So it's going to qualify. For that customer is on 50 BV on that auto ship. And let's say they stay on that for a full year. Okay, those people. Then there's another set of products that you might, let's say they're not interested in BeFit for whatever reason. Then there's another set of products that they could order together, which would be to help them sleep and help them have energy. Sleep at night, energy during the day. And that would be a combination of a 15 mil, which is our smaller version of
30 mil, actually.
it's 30 mil.
30 and 60.
Okay, 30 and 60. So a 30 mil. What's the 15 mil?
There isn't one.
Oh, there isn't one. Never mind. Okay. Anyway, so the Dream and the Edge combo. So Dream to sleep, Edge for energy. And if you kept it that simple without going into all the science and details, it's Dream for sleep, Edge for energy. Dream at night, energy, Edge during the day. That actually adds up to 90 BV, and it's about 140. Is that right? No, 100. Yeah, about $140 wholesale auto ship. So if someone was on that, then that qualifies them in your group of 3. So it's either $99 for BeFit or $140, and that qualifies them for you to earn that 100. And then the other obvious one is our Vibe product. So that's another set of products. You got BeFit as a set, you've got the Edge Dream as a set, and then you also have the Vibe product, which is one of the best deals we have is the 129 auto ship offer that Zilis has had for quite a while on the Vibe product, which gets you well over the 50 BV, which is the requirement to get paid on your VIP customer. And you get on their journey of using our blend of CBD, CBG, CBC to begin to bring holistic balance to their body. Okay, homeostasis. So any one of those 3 could do that. And also, by the way, let's just say our Edge product, which I mentioned earlier, if you combine it with Dream, you've got the sleep at night and energy during the day. One of the other best deals pulling out of that is the $75 monthly auto ship of Edge, which is also a 50 BV. So why do I keep focusing on that 50 BV? Because it's the requirement of the auto ship for your customer to have on auto ship in order for you to have that qualifies them as one of your 3 VIP customers. Now, remember, these are not people who are building the business. These are not bronze packages, silver packages, gold packages, income earners. These are simply customers, and you need to see them that way. Don't necessarily invite them as soon as they get on product to come to a party, okay, to a Zilis event. Just be looking at helping them get the best product experience from the product. If they come back around and say, hey, I want more, I want to be more, I want to do more, I want to earn income, great. All right. If they upgrade, then you're going to need to replace them as a customer, but that's okay. Now you're building a team and you get into all the other aspects of earning income with Zilis. But literally with this program, it is designed for every person who's an ambassador building to have a group of customers that you can build a group of customers, your own book of business customers, for you to earn 100, 200, 300, up to $1,000 a month, which when you play that over a year, when you have those, it adds up to a whole lot more, and it's based upon that original enrollment and auto ship. So anyway, I was talking with Lisa, I wanted to break that down for everyone to make it really simple. Now, here's what's really cool is, let's say you do get someone who wants to build the business. Maybe they come in and buy a gold kit. The easiest way for them to really focus on what it means to learn how to build the business is with this, not going out and finding a bunch of golds, though that would be great. Okay. Finding people like themselves who are eager, gung ho, got the money to do it. Let's go build this thing together kind of thing. Spending the $1,000 plus with tax. That's great to find those. And that's what I did. And that's what Lisa did. But back when we got involved, they didn't offer this VIP opportunity to earn $100 on 3 VIP enrollments. And so one of the simplest way for a business builder to learn the business, to more than get their feet wet, but really begin to earn, is maybe while they're looking for those business partners, they can find a lot of customers and earn income. And I really, really like this opportunity for all of us to kind of restart our business through focusing on product introduction and leaving a lot of the business stuff out of it, frankly, in the beginning. And so, anyway, not that the business partners are not super important, but I really wanted to emphasize the value of focusing on what's this new opportunity, which we really been pushing for a while. Lisa and I have. Let's help everyone make some money, okay? And like Lisa said, when you can earn 300, we learned this from Bo. It's kind of a economic standard. Once a person's locked in earning $300, once a business partner or someone is per month, you know, that's real money that they don't generally want to let go of. They want to keep doing it. And then if they can build from there, get some momentum, they've learned some skills, then they can double that or add to that. And when you really look at the numbers at the end of the year, it can turn into significant money. Who wouldn't want to add $12,000 to your annual income? Think about it. $12,000 at the end of a year after enrolling a number of people, but then along the way, you know, you've been building to that. So, and frankly, let's say it took you 2 or 3 years with just customers to retain over 25 customers regularly, then you have built what I would call as a significant residual income just on customers. Okay. So
Thank you.
anyway,
Perfect.
you bet. Thanks.
Go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs. Right.
All right. So hopefully that makes sense. Thank you, Hal. That was quite a sacrifice because you know the Chiefs are playing right now. And so for Hal to step away, he must love y'all. Just saying. But bottom line, we start with 3 customers because once you get 3, you earn $100 next month. You can earn 6, and then you can earn 9, and that 9 is the sweet spot of $300 a month. We recruit, retain, and duplicate, as Hal said. So I wanted to hear 2 things from everyone. First of all, and you don't have to say this out loud, but if you want to and you want accountability, you can text me this information or you can post it in the chat. Let's see here. I'm going to stop sharing. There we go. So here's question number 1. What is your Zilis goal? Let's say for the 4th quarter, because we're there, October, November, December. What is your goal for dependable monthly income with Zilis? And I say that dependable because, you know, The dependability is really important. Remember, if we're getting a consistent $300 a month, like a bond, that's where you have to have 80,000 in the bank minimum. And so we're looking at the dependability of it. And I want you to kind of write a number down. And then my next question. So I'm going to give you a minute to think about it. Think about what your financial goal is. And in that, what do you need to see to know this is real? Everybody's got a different number. For me, 16,000 did a lot. Just saying. Once I earned a $16,000 check, I was hooked. So I'm just saying, we start with 100, 300, whatever that number is, I want you to write it down. And then number two, what is the number one obstacle preventing you from achieving that? And that's what really I would just, love to hear that. And, a lot of people are going to say, I just, my own time. But if you would like to share just obstacles, number one obstacle, anybody want to share?
Me.
Linda?
Well, even though I don't work full time, I pretty much live a full-time job, full-time life. But I would find time as an obstacle because the people I talk to do work full time, and so trying to find, and then if they have children, that's even a bigger challenge for them to even be able to focus on who they want to share this with. So I would say a biggest obstacle is finding the time. Maybe not so much finding people, because everybody, I think, know at least 300 people. I never realized how many names I had in my phone until I had to buy a new phone, and the guy said, "Oh, you have 400 and something names." I'm like, "Well, you're kidding me," because I'm thinking, I don't know anybody. I work in a room that doesn't have access to anybody, so I don't meet anybody on a daily basis. So I think everybody has enough names to go through and to offer this, and somebody may be looking. We just never know. I just say don't prejudge. And then I say for me, it's just finding the time.
Awesome. Time. Very, very big one.
Lisa?
Anybody else have an
Yeah, this is
obstacle?
Jenny. I'd like to say something. I think the biggest obstacle in my way is myself, how I talk to myself, the negative thoughts, the biggest obstacle for me is Jenny. And you change that by being on this call tonight, being around people like you, having numbers posted in your bathroom mirror, your kitchen cabinet. You just have always got to have it in front of you, because negative thoughts just creep in so easily and they just steal your dream. So my biggest obstacle is me, and I love this wholesale customer thing they come up with. It's incredible. I'm so excited about it. My goal is 25 customers. If I get 25 customers, that's incredible. So that's my goal. So
Well, that's awesome, Jenny. I can totally relate. A lot of times we don't even really know what's possible because it feels hard. It feels hard. Like, it felt hard for me to go from nursing and corporate settings to talking to people about their health, because there's some people that just aren't open. And then there's people that ghost you, and then all the things that we know of. So I was taught early on that you've got to have names and a funnel that you're always working with, so that you'll over time learn what your closing ratio is. And so if we only have 3 people on the list and our closing ratio is 20%, we might not be able to close anybody that month. And the people I know who are the best at this are constantly meeting new people and putting themselves into places like you guys, Jenny, where you're meeting new people. And you guys I think you're all in top 10 this month. So you guys are.
We're our biggest obstacle. We are our biggest obstacle, and you just have got to get plugged in and read and listen, and just always sticking your hand out and just smile and say, "Hi, my name's Jenny. What do you do?" Just just meet people, just have fun. But I'm my biggest obstacle.
Well, I've got your goal written down, girl.
Okay. Well, so do I.
Good deal. Anybody else want to talk about obstacle preventing you from hitting your goal this October, November, December?
One of the things that I've really noticed as an obstacle more recently is not time. Everybody talks about time, but it's amazing to me that I have time sometimes. It's like, maybe maybe the meeting I had got over early and I've got an hour before something else. Well, an hour, that's a lot of time really in a day. And so one of the things I'm realizing is that I'm not prepared for those that unplanned time. So it's like I was kind of kicking myself the other day because I knew I had some names, but I'd left them on a piece of paper at home. And if I only had that list, I could fill this hour by talking to somebody or by maybe making a stop at a retail place. So it's just like to be organized for that ahead of time. It's like you kind of have to be organized for things that you're not even going to do today. That way, in case you can do them, you can do them, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah. No, I think it really, I had a mentor that used to keep his prospect list on his phone notes so that his kind of hot list, he had a way of pulling it up. Either he tagged people on contacts, and so that when, let's say you're going to write prospect in the memo on your phone when you put somebody new in your phone, so that when he had extra few minutes, he could just type in prospect and all these people would come up. So because I've got them on paper and I'm just like you, if I'm not in my desk in my creative space, then I'm not always thinking about it. So using every minute, especially little gaps of time, I think is a really, really good call out. And I got a text from Gene Workmeister, and he said his biggest obstacle is answering machines. Anybody else have that problem? Finding somebody's answering machine? And I've realized that I really text more often to set an appointment than leave a voice drop. And that's probably because I'm not the greatest at knowing who's calling me. And so I kind of am more aware with texting. And that's one thing I would say, Jean, is to find out what's the best method of communication for people. Is it email? Is it phone? Or is it text? Or nothing? Not at all. Like maybe you never want to hear from me again. It would suck to know that, but I would rather know on the front end than try to call them a million times. So really good feedback. Well, what I want you to do is really kind of write down your goal in light of the new information. And I will tell you that we can teach people how to find a customer, and we can teach you how to change a customer's life. And that's really what we've done since we've started. So if you're looking, to change your status, if you're looking to set a goal, we want to help you with that. But what I also want to say is this is going to be a big month. I really predict that this information is going to really change some things with Zilis. We're going to find a more attractive opportunity, and we want to empower you guys with the tools that you need in order to recruit, retain, and duplicate. So that's really what I had for tonight. I do want to say that we will not have a call next Sunday. We're actually moving. I can't remember who we've told that, but we're converting our home to our third recovery house. We're halfway there, and so we're moving to a downsize, which is right across from the only park in Farmington, and we're kind of excited about that. So it's really kind of cool little spot. But next Sunday we will not have an elevation call. And normally we're the first and third Sundays of the month, but we are going to be on a ship somewhere in the ocean and en route back, right, Susan? Judy, Linda, you guys, am I missing anybody there? Because this is kind of a big deal, and Hal Henson's using a passport for the very first time in his life. He's not ever done a cruise before. So yeah, it's lots going on right now. So October 12th will be our next elevation call if you want to write that down. We'll be a little bit out of order, but it's okay because there's lots going on all the time. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.